Hi, today is Sunday, September the 2nd, 2018, and I'm doing some living socially secure videos. Recently I had an opportunity to talk to a farmer up in the county. He gave me some vegetables, and also was able to get some discount chicken breasts. And so what I've been doing is trying to use these fresh vegetables, and you know, too often in our time in our country, you know, we have like specific recipes. This is what's got to be done, rather than do free-form cooking. And if you're going to be living on Social Security, as I will be, as well as working soon, I have 10 days to go before I'm specifically a claimant. I've already put in my claim and we're working on that and some other things. So he had given me some Brussels sprouts, okay, and I had never cooked Brussels sprouts. Yes, I've eaten them and I love them. They're cruciferous. And so then what I'm talking about is, you look at the intrinsic nutritional value in what's in some of these things, okay? Right now I have about 6 pounds of chicken breast that I'm doing a typical, you know, run cold water on it, and here I have water that is comes in bulk units, and since I live alone, I would never go near the limits before they were charged. So, so I took these Brussels sprouts, and I'm like, what do I do with those? And so then I read online, okay, you steam them. Well, these were really big, and I steamed them, and I steamed them, and I'm like, there's got to be something else to do with these. And I thought, why not make some Brussels vegetable soup? So, I started off with one of my chicken basics, okay, and now looking at what's happening, I need to go ahead and throw in kind of a stiffener, and that is pancake batter with chicken fat in it. And right away it changes the color, and what it's going to do is going to kind of, you know, give it a little bit of a consistency to float the Brussels sprouts. And I had some locally grown carrots that I want to use up before they get older. So I have these two vegetables in here, okay, and unless somebody thinks I'm wasting water. Also I have fresh green beans. Well, when you do this kind of cooking, you have to consider the size of the ingredients. If I was to put the fresh, and I cleaned them, sliced them down to a certain level. If I was to put those in right now, okay, they would turn into mush. And you need to keep your teeth strong, so you have to have stuff to chew on. You need to have stuff that goes through you and takes some time so it releases the vegetables. You can't just have stuff that, you know, 12 hours later you're like, running to get rid of it. So also I'm using some giant artisan's bread. It's seeded Jewish rye, and within my business world, as I say on these videos I make, yes, I was a union food processor, and dark pumpernickel rye was my primary product with variations thereof. So if anybody knows seeded Jewish rye, I do. I made thousands of pounds of it, and also you learn a lot about the crusts. So here I'm increasing the food quality and yet not actually increasing the cost, because the farmer up on the hill gave me some of this. He didn't want it to go bad, you know, and they put their heart and their soul into their farms, and they don't want vegetables to go bad. They sell them at the market. So hopefully I'll have a busy schedule pretty soon. Right now, not a lot scheduled for the next 10 days, but you know, I'm always trying to get more things on the agenda, make a living. So you know, I thought, well, Brussels sprout soup sounds to me like that great thing that you'd want to have with some rice. When you come in on like September 14th and the arc of the sun, as it ends the summer, will start to make certain areas like us colder than the other parts of the valley, because we're about a mile from the Blue Mountain. So as the backside of the mountain and that next valley, Juniata Valley, Perry County, as that all gets a little colder, my home here will get colder, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to want something substantial. So by preparing this 10, 12 days in advance, hopefully I'll come in and I'll be tired from traveling and working or whatever, and then I'll just be able to heat up the soup instead of go through the process. I've got 45 minutes into making this broccoli soup. Brussels sprouts. Broccoli is very expensive. I'll get there. And also, I've got some Brussels sprouts that I'm going to go ahead and freeze because I have a lot of green beans. So, these will be great. I think there's things you can do by broil Brussels sprouts if you make like a spicy Brussels sprout crisp. And so the idea is to use your imagination, not to overcook your food, but to always prepare it. And I live alone, and I have a lot on the agenda. Staying involved in your community is part of living socially secure, and I'm in a religious choir at the parish, and it's a mental challenge because I haven't read music in 50 years. So I got some PDFs off the library, off the internet, about how I'm going to follow along and be able to be a better singer. And then that's a way to worship and be thankful. And in here, in this stuff, in this melange, I have some chicken skin, because when I did my chicken specials, and I can see that that's right about where I want it. I don't want it to boil that much more. So now, as I mentioned, since it's not going to cook that much more, I do want to fill it with these green beans that were locally grown. The next thing is, is you got to get hooked up with some of the farmers that have chickens and then get some of those eggs. And we here in our bountiful land of America, we just love our cheese, variations thereof. And I do say if I could have my name on the gravestone with an epitaph, but they don't do that anymore. It would be your life's ad, you love butter. And so I'm going to show you what a good looking meal is like. I don't usually come in close with the camera, but the other day I was doing some bicycling. So you see there's the color. Okay, you can see the Brussels sprouts, the green with the white, the green beans, and the chunk carrots. And it's boiling, and I did add the kind of a gravy mix that I had in the refrigerator, so that this is just, when you live alone, this with a little rice on a side dish and a cup of this. So this is like enough for like 7 meals. So maybe I'll make it into 4 because I'll be hungry. I'm hoping. So about the only ingredient I put in here was some salt, because my mom always told me add a pinch of salt there. And very cruciferous tasting. It's a full body. Makes my neck pop. It's quality. And you can taste the salt and chicken fat. The vegetable oil that I use. I don't use butter. You know, the doctors do call it blood mud. And one of the toughest things about living socially secure, maybe that speech defect I'm trying to work on, is to take care of your health. And recently I was getting on my bike a little too aggressively. I needed to build a stair in order to mount the bike. It's a big high mountain bike and a basket on the back for shopping. And I strained a groin muscle, and then I'm trying to chain the bike up on a journey in downtown Harrisburg. I spazzed out my other back. So once I strained the one side, I could still ride. It's just getting on the bike. So the good doctor at Holy Spirit Hospital says, hey, even old SUVs have to slow down a little. And what he's saying is, you know, I'm a sport utility guy. I love to go out and ride my bike. I ride year-round except for snow and ice. I love the cold. If January is bitter cold, but there's no snow and ice, woo, I'm riding. So now I have to, at this point, take the doctor's advice. You know, so I spent today, instead of going swimming, I had some reasons where I didn't want to aggravate the injuries. I need to be very mobile. So what's left now is I have a bunch of green beans. Okay, to me they look like they're going to go really good in an omelet. It's called scrambled eggs. I don't put cheese in my omelets, but you know. And again, mix. Proportion is really important. So the hearts of the Brussels sprouts have now shed all the leaves. The hearts of the Brussels sprouts are similar to the size of the carrots. The leaves of the Brussels sprouts, okay, are blending in nice with the green beans. And that's about it. You know, I made this up. You don't always have to have a recipe, but if you know food, you know what you want to eat, and you don't. I try not to put more than 3 basic ingredients. You put a 4th ingredient in, you're usually making smudge. You know, and that smudge is like a slush smudge. So then the next thing I'm going to do, by tomorrow my chicken breasts are going to be thawed, and I'm going to do all kinds of things to them because I want to use that chicken. I want to get it prepared, and then I'll have 35, 40 days of food in the refrigerator in all different stages. And you know, you will end up with a loss rate, but if you balance that loss rate with your loss of time and hopefully there's an increase in activity in the hotel business, which is my business, as well as choir practice Thursday nights for an hour and 45 minutes. It's very, very interesting. You have to be able to read music, which I do, but visually, and then you have to have quite some lung power. And our choir master is a wonderful pastoral minister, and he makes you go through breathing exercises to get loosened up. The average age of people in the choir has got to be 57 to 60, somewhere about there. There are some choir members who've been there 50 years. So that makes me a neophyte, and it's a challenge. It's something that, you know, I was in this parish when I was younger. So 45 years ago I was a parishioner. That's my calling card. I went to a local Catholic high school here, and I let older people know. I graduated Trinity High School in '74. It's my 3rd time back in Mechanicsburg, and I'm only leaving here in an urn. So I'm having fun, eating well. I think I have 48 videos on living socially secure, and I have a shell of a channel I haven't built out, which is where I'm going to put in the descriptive paragraphs and some of the recipes that I use as I show the last 10 months of preparing food in advance. And you know, I haven't had an ice cream cone. Maybe I've had 1 ice cream cone in 10 months. I don't buy ice cream. I don't buy cheese. I rarely buy butter. I occasionally buy milk. But I've taken dairy out, and it's really helped my stomach and also my mood. Dairy's tough. It's for younger people. I could live in Florida now for what they call the Sunset Special, Sunbird Special. I know when the local Ahold store is going to put their steak on sale, and that's not until like 10 days after the summer's over. So then there's a whole bunch of us geezers who are hawking around there just waiting, because after about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, they come through and they knock 40% off of some fantastic steak. You get a $15 steak pack of some nice roast beef kind of steak, top, round, bottom, all this kind of stuff. You get that for $10. You get $9 worth of chicken legs for $5.25. And all you did was, you know, they're keeping that stuff fresh. They're keeping it according to temperature, but they do have to move it out of their shelves to have the next day's stuff, and they cut their beef in-house. I'm not sure they cut their chicken in-house, but I worked for one of them about 12, 13 years ago, and I can see they're cutting the beef. So, being kind of like a senior, where you always, they talk about Florida, they all go out at like 3:30 to 6 o'clock to the summer, the early bird specials, and you know, that's where they get the cheap meals, and then they get to go home, Corvette Show. So, you know, I hope someday that you too get to the benefits of your Social Security. I paid into it for 48 years. And, Lord willing, I'll be paying into it for, I want to work 10 more years between full-time, part-time. I'm going to volunteer until I drop. So I hope you have a good was it Labor Day weekend? Yep. One final shot of how that is